Well, according to the new data, here we have altogether 100,000 Buddhism statues, 2,345 caves, and more than 80 pagodas. So all of them, they carve on the cliff of the mountains. Just like visiting the Great Wall in Beijing, we have to go upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, and downstairs. But to be honest, the majority of the statues can be divided into two kinds, namely the slim ones and the fat ones. If we see a statue with slim face, the tucks of his clothes has narrow gap between, it seems that the Buddha wears tight clothes. That indicates the statue was carved by the Wei Dynasty, W-E-I. In the Wei Dynasty, because China suffered a lot of wars, and the most important is that in the Wei Dynasty, the people can't find enough food to eat. They were hungry every day, so they become slim. On the contrary, if we see a statue with fat face, plump arms, the tucks of his clothes has wide gap between, it seems that the Buddha wears loose clothes. That indicates the statue was carved by the Sui and Tang Dynasty. In the Sui and Tang Dynasty, China was nearly the strongest country in the world. Nearly every people can find their satisfactory job. The most important is that in the Sui and Tang Dynasty, people can find enough food to eat. People were full every day, so they become fat.
Longmen means Dragon Gate in
Dragon
English.
Gate, yes, because in the Sui Dynasty, 1,300 years ago, the emperor established his capital in Luoyang. This place just faced the gate of his palace, and emperor often called himself as real dragon. Finally, we find dragon and gate as the name for the place, which was translated into Chinese. We call it Longmen. So Longmen here means Dragon Gate.
Longmen.
Yeah, Longmen. Right is long, left is men.
So you leave from right to left?
Yes. This is the old handwriting. We all read it from right to left. But modern we read from left to right. Yeah, yes. But now that temple is empty because we can't find the monks or nuns. All the monks or nuns, they has migrated to other temples. Now it's empty temple. The temple was newly rebuilt in 2010. The famous leaders who have been in Northern Caves. So just like today we have to buy our own apartment. In the past in China, if you want to carve Buddhism statues in this area, it's the beginning of the steps. First, you have to purchase that place. Second, you can ask the artist to carve the Buddhism statue for you. This is the beginning of the steps. Well, the function of this construction now is used for preventing the leakage from the ceiling, because each cave after rain, there will be drips, so the water will drip from upward to downward. This is the first cave we see today, and it was carved by the Tang Dynasty. So this is the history records about the big cave, and in front of each cave they have the big they have the history records about that, because the big cave all carved by the emperor. Well, this is the first cave we see in Longmen, which is named the Qianxi Cave, which was carved in 7th century AD in the Tang Dynasty. In the middle, we can see a fat Buddha of Amitabha, and on both sides of the Buddha, we can see the two students, two Bodhisattvas, standing symmetrically on both sides. Besides, on the ceiling, we can see the colorful painting. Although the colorful painting was painted in the Tang Dynasty 1,300 years ago, but until today we can see some colors, but the color is not so bright. Well, when all the project finished in this area, especially in the smaller cave over there must be smaller statues. But today, why we can't find them? A lot of them were stolen, especially during the anti-Japanese war in the 1930s. The Japanese troops trampled of Tang, Luoyang, and they stole a lot of statues of Longmen and sailed to the overseas. Nowadays, in US, in UK, in Australian Museum, you can see the statues of Longmen. And geologically speaking, the stone here is a limestone. While compared with conglomerate and sandstone, the limestone is soft. It is easy for deep carving. Like this side cave, it cost 20 years carving. Destroyed or stolen, especially for this part, height, because for the whole body, the most important part is height. So look, the statue inside the cave, no height. Compared with that guard, that one no height. All the height has gone. Here we call it the South Binyang Cave. What does Binyang mean? Binyang means to welcome the sun. The three caves were firstly carved in the Wei Dynasty, but when the Wei Dynasty was replaced by the following dynasty, they only finished the middle one. Although Wei Dynasty only finished the middle one, it costed 800,000 men days work. That's to say, for this cave, 100 people working together, 24 hours, 24 years. Only finished the middle one, while the right one and the left one, they were finished by the Sui and Tang dynasty. I told you the Sui dynasty, the fashionable style is slim. So look at this Xiaowen statue in the middle, with a big smiling on his face. This is a slim face. The tucks of his clothes has narrow gap between. It seems that he wears tight clothes. So this is slim statue of Wei Dynasty. On both sides of the statue, we can see the students, police soldiers, and 2 guards. Well, compared with that guard, on the surface of that one, we have a lot of holes. The holes were shot by the gun by the Japanese troops in the 1930s. Because the statue is so big, they can't take it, they finally use gun to destroy. Well, the statue in the red cave will be the first one, just like this kind of gesture, like victory. The Tang Dynasty. In the middle, this is the first one type of Buddha. But inside, we can say the students, 2 board soldiers, and 2 guards. Now they have the construction. They have the work for maintaining the whole statues inside the cave. Even in the small caves, you can see small statues on both sides of the wall. That's it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, in front of us, we call them the most ugly one. Why? Because they were not fully finished during the Tang Dynasty. In China's history, we have only one female emperor. Her name is Wu Detian. Wu Detian crowned herself in Luoyang and declared that I'm the daughter of the god to direct human beings. So, because only a small amount of ministers are in favor of her to become the female emperor, so she has to find a tool to display that she is the daughter of the god. Finally, he chose Buddhism. Why and how? Because in Buddhism we have past Buddha, present Buddha, and future Buddha. Its location is right, middle, and left. The past Buddha governed the past world, the present Buddha governed the present world. The future Buddha is the only successor of the present Buddha. Wu Detian, she migrated 2 locations between the present Buddha and the future Buddha. Finally, she elected the successor of present Buddha sitting in the middle to govern the present world. She wants to show that after her husband, she will be the successor of her husband, not her son. So, but when all the statues here were carved down halfway, Zhang Jianzhi, the premier of Tang Dynasty, guided the Paris rebellion to hold the flag that go downstairs from the crown, who will have to stop carving the statue here and to deal with the palace rebuilding. So we call them the most ugly one because they were not fully finished. But from here, we can know that some tourists suspected that maybe our ancestors carved the statues in other places and finally migrated to these places. But from here, we can know that we just carved statues on the cliff directly. Look at the two origin lines. In 1982 and in 1937, this is the highest water level for the flood. So this is a special tool for measure the water level and the water speed about the E River. Even in July 2012 last year, it rained heavy rain for 2 hours. Finally, the water get on the road, get the knee of the tourist. Because of the small flood, the Longmen Grottoes was closed for 2 days. Flower stone. Because on the surface of the stone, we can see the petals of peony flowers. This is a natural stone, not man-made stone. It produced in the northern part of mountain areas in Luoyang. And as per side, the stone at least formed 200 million years ago because the volcano ashes jump into the rock and form the petals of peony flowers. This is one for a cave because in this cave we can find 15,000 Buddhism statues altogether, including the big ones and smaller ones. In the middle, we can see a fat Buddha of Tibet. On the ceiling, we can see the lotus pattern. Very told from the total number is 15,000. It is told from the ceiling Chinese characters reading cave with 15,000 Buddhism statues carved by the first year of Yonglong, Tang Dynasty. That's to say this cave finished in 680 AD in the Tang Dynasty. While on the other parts of big statue, we can see a lot of smaller statues. If we look at them carefully, in their hands there's special music instruments. It seems that they are playing music now. So this certainly shows the paradise in Buddhism, a real paradise, but it can attract more and more people to believe Buddhism. And the total statues in this case will account for 1/10 of the total.
然而，我们发现，在宾阳中洞洞窟门内，两侧壁被多配造的。
Well, that cave called it Lotus Cave because on the ceiling we can see a big lotus. In this cave we have the smallest statues which measures only 2 centimeters. Well, this is the cave. We carved the Buddhism statues on the basis of natural cave. For the Longmen caves, 99% are man-made. Only 1% are based on a natural cave. And go upstairs, I will show you the location of the smallest statues. In the middle, we can see the slim statue of Xiaowen, and on his both sides, we can see the 2 bodhisattvas. And next, I will show you the location of the smallest statues. Well, look at the small cave. We count ahead 1, 2, 3, and from the third one we go up 1, 2, 3, and from the ceiling of the third one we moving upward for about 30 centimeters. Look at the area, looks like smaller Chinese characters. This is the location of the smallest statues. If we look at them carefully, if we use magnifier to enlarge them, each of them they have different posture. They will carve lifelike.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and from the top of the 3 we move upward for 30 centimeters.
因此，朝臣们称高宗和武则天为二圣，而皇帝陛下这个称呼，也不仅是指唐高宗一人，而是包括武则天在内。
This is the most important place for Longmen Caves. Here we call it the Fengxian Temple, where the biggest statue located. And this is Luoyang Buddha. The total height is 17.14 meters, and with her height 4 meters, each ear 1.9 meters. This is the biggest statue in Longmen. It is said that the big statue's face was carved according to the female emperor Wu Zetian's look. Now let's look at her face. She has white forehead, beautiful eyes. It seems that she is wise and kind of nature. If we look at her two eyes, we can find that it seems that she is also looking at us at the same time. We can change the different angles, there will be the same situations. It seems that the female emperor Wu Zetian, she focused on the human beings, Tang Dynasty, today and the future. On her both sides, we can see the two students, two bodhisattvas, and two heavenly kings, and two guards. They're standing symmetrically on both sides. On the back of the wall, we can see a lot of square holes. What's the function for the square hole? This place costed 25 years carving, and after Tang Dynasty, this is the Song Dynasty. The Song government want to protect all the statues here. Finally, they built 9 apartments on the upper part. But Song Dynasty has passed away for more than 1,000 years. The materials for the apartment is wood. So nowadays we can't see the wooden apartments on the upper part, only let square holes for the columns and the pillars. But also one of the masterpieces for whole China's carving history. If you return to US, you show the picture you took with the biggest statues. That can indicate you have been in Luoyang, China. Carved in 493 AD. In the middle, we can see a slim statue of Xiaowen, because it was carved by the Wei Dynasty. This cave marked the opening carving ceremony for the whole Longmen Grottoes. This is the oldest cave in Longmen, Guyangdong Cave. It was carved in the early days of Qi Dynasty and finished in the Tang Dynasty. Inside we can find 140 pieces of Chinese prescriptions. The emperor carved out the prescriptions inside the cave. He just want to show the contributions they made for the whole society. Because when the war took place, for the common people, if we are ill, it's difficult for us to find a doctor. So the emperors carved the 140 pieces of prescription inside. The people who live nearby, if they are ill, they can go inside and according to the prescriptions and cure themselves. Nowadays, the 140 pieces of prescription are still being used, and the prescriptions also developed to Japan. And in Japanese medical books, we call it Longmen prescriptions. Old Chinese philosophy, old Chinese handwriting in the Wei Dynasty, but now this is the copy ones. Old Chinese handwriting. In China, even in the primary school, the students can recite.
Mr. Bai.
Yeah, Mr. Bai. It's a Chinese Sasilia. Well, this tablet reading Tang Dynasty, Mr. Bai's tomb. Tang, this is the dynasty. Shaofu means the post when Mr. Bai took in Chang'an, present Xi'an. Originally, Mr. Bai was the young emperor's teacher. Bai is his family name, and Mu this means tomb, so Mr. Bai's tomb, Tang Dynasty. Lots of memorial tablets for Mr. Bai. This is the Mr. Bai's poetry. 那每早上还得祈祷呀。我那个是小船吧？我不知道呀，我应该说是咱俩不是 AB 团，应该是一个大团一个小团吧？啊，你说那个就是他说是用里边车，到时候让我直接让咱俩这里边不是能带他离。